Hello, you are watching Teatime Tuesday. I'm Roshan Gidwani. Xin Nian Kuai Le, Happy Chinese New Year. This year, the CNY celebrations will be taking place amidst high inflation. So, how does one be prudent with their money after the festivities? Joining me today is Tiong Eng, independent financial advisor and author of Your Wealth Manual, and he'll be sharing some of his financial wisdom with us. Hi, Tiong Eng. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
You're welcome. So let's dive right in. Tiong Eng, this year many people will receive ang baos for Chinese New Year. What would you say is the wise thing to do with this money?
Okay, depends the stage of life a person is. If as a child, there's no need for it, right? So they can just store it, put in the bank and keep for the future use. For a working adult, I would like them to probably think about keeping part of it for saving for future needs and spend just probably a small portion of it just to reward yourself, since it's ang pao money, a blessing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you would say that for different generations, they should spend and save the money in different ways.
Different life cycle, right? A child would typically have no needs for the money. They probably can just keep it, put in a safe deposit bank. And for a working adult, like they probably have income, they don't need to spend all, but just to reward themselves, probably a small portion of it, and the majority can keep for their raining day use and to build and invest for our long-term needs.
We talked earlier and I found out that you're a parent. Your kids will receive ang baos
Yes.
this year, right?
Yeah.
How old are they again?
My son is 17 this year,
Okay.
my daughter is 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you use this opportunity to educate your kids about money management?
Okay, basically when they were young, when they're 10 and 12, I brought them to attend a money camp called the Money Mind Intensive. Yeah, they learn in that 2 days course everything about money, including budgeting. Right? For this ang pao itself, it's too small amount to make an impact in their money management. So basically, they know they're supposed to conserve it. And along the years, since when they're young, they can be collecting ang pao. Their money has always been in the bank.
Okay.
Yeah. But as my son turns 16 now, I start to educate him a bit more about budgeting and about not to spend all. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe this year he might want to spend some of his ang pao money.
Okay.
But before 16, last year, all the way down, he has been saving in the bank. Yeah, I've not taught them about investment yet, partly because they are not that financially ready and they are not that technically ready to go into investment and trading.
Okay.
But basically just store in the bank first and save for raining days.
But even if the money is in the bank, it would earn
Some
compound
interest.
There
Yes,
you go.
yes. So every year I can show him the statement, oh say this is how much interest you're earning. But I'll share with them about inflation as well. But long term, you see, money in the bank is good, but it cannot fight inflation. To give them some concept about money in the bank, interest, and the current standard of living and inflation first. We'll let them
Okay.
understand.
Okay, build a foundation.
Yes, foundation, understanding, and also conceptualize what's happening.
So you're the author of Your Wealth Manual. It discusses good practices with regards to managing money. For those who haven't read it, how would you summarize it?
Basically, this book is just a financial literacy 101. In the 7th chapter, I talk about to have money, you must have the correct mindset first, right? Because just as the saying goes, a fool and his money soon get parted, right? So to have the wealth, you must think wealthy. Right? You have a wealth management concept, you have a wealth mindset, and slowly you start to practice the right thing to accumulate your wealth. So in the book I wrote in the 7th chapter, the first chapter is all about adopting the wealthy mindset.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, what prompted you to start writing it?
I've been in the financial advisory business almost the whole of my adult life. So basically I do lecture, I do train, I do teach. So sometimes my student ask me, oh Mr. Tan, you speak so fast. Is there any notes? Is there any research material? But I see it's all over the place, Bloomberg, Yahoo, financial literacy textbook. That sets me thinking, okay, maybe I should write a book to condense my teaching since it's so-called sought after or so-called wanted by my students. Then another reason why I think through why I should write a book is because I went through a phase of my life. I basically make so-called earn income more than $1 million. But on the 10th year, when I took stock, I got less than $100 in my bank. So can you imagine that when you're in the college days, you probably got a few thousand in the bank, and the working adult after 10 years of working, you got less than $100 liquidity because I didn't practice what I learned. I didn't master financial literacy. So that point, I think I still remember I was age of 32. I asked myself, why am I doing all these things? What are the lessons that I should learn? Then I start picking up all those old books that I wrote and all those old notes, those courses, the seminars, financial seminars that I attended. Then I start taking out notes. Then I realized, I learned all these things, but I did not practice. So there's a big gap between knowing and doing. I know so much, but I didn't practice. So I thought, okay, maybe in order not for the rest to fall the same trap and make the same mistake I do, I should just write it out in this book called Your Wealth Manual. And the whole idea is, besides teaching, besides sharing, I also want to leave it as a legacy for my kids.
Right.
So if I live to long enough to groom them, that'll be very good. If I don't live long enough, at least they have a book to remind them of my teachings.
Yeah, it's also a good reminder for you to remember.
Yes, to practice what I preach.
Exactly.
Yes.
Cool. Other 32-year-olds won't find themselves in those shoes.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the first chapter of your book, some of your financial struggles are brought up, just like you mentioned just
Yes.
now. What are some of the biggest lessons you learned?
Oh, the biggest lesson is about budgeting.
Okay.
Because you see, very interestingly, a lot of people, their standard of living grow in tandem with their income or their salary growth. So they earn 3,000, they spend 3,000, they earn 5,000, their lifestyle will upgrade, gravitate towards 5, 10, 15.
Okay.
So this is a big mistake. What I learned, and that's actually what happened to me. I earn more, I spend more, right? So I realized that budgeting is the key. No matter how rich you are, even though you're a millionaire, you will still budget what you spend. Money is never infinite. So this is a lesson learned. No matter how much you earn, 3,000 a month, 300,000 a year, you still must budget.
So you've brought up having a wealthy mindset, right?
Yep.
Adopting a wealthy mindset. And that's what the second chapter of your book is about.
Yes.
What exactly is a wealthy mindset and how does one achieve it?
First of all, a wealthy mindset, you must have this mindset of abundance and mindset of enough is enough. So basically, if you have a wealthy mindset, you know that, okay, this is my standard of living and how I work towards it. To me, when a person is financially free, is when your passive income equal to your standard of living. All right. A wealthy person will not incur more debt than necessary, even though they incur debt, and debt are good debts. Yeah. In my book, I also mention about good debts and bad debts. Good debt is basically invest to leverage to grow a wealth. Bad debt is basically you incur to buy material stuff or depreciating assets, right? So a wealthy person can decipher or can make a distinction between good debt, bad debt. A wealthy mindset will know how to budget and prepare and save for future. So using the power of compound interest growth to grow the wealth, such that when your passive income is enough to overtake or to take care of standard living, your job become optional. You work because you choose to, not because you need to.
Right.
So that is the right mindset of a wealthy person. And to add a bit more, a wealthy person normally live a minimalist lifestyle. Not all, but I strongly advocate a minimalist lifestyle. Meaning that if my standard living is 2,000 a month, I don't need to spend more, I keep it that way. Even my capital gain, my wealth keep growing, my passive income keep growing, I can do more to help others with the extra money.
Now, let's go back to Chinese New Year. I'd like to think that during any New Year, one should take stock of their finances.
Yeah.
This helps as far as planning ahead goes. What's a good financial assessment consist of?
In financial textbook, there are many financial ratios, right? So if I talk about the most basic or most fundamental few financial ratio would be savings ratio. So let's talk about maybe not just a amount money, but your regular monthly income. All right. So in terms of income allocation, I compartmentalize our income into 5 compartments. The 5%, first 5%, I call that gratitude fund, where you give people to show your gratitude. It can be a tie, it can be to your parents, at least a 5% a guide. The next 10% should be your saving ratio, saving for liquidity needs, put in the ATM bank, right? Then the third 10% will be for your protection needs. So in protection, in my book, I mentioned the 7 level of protection, take care of income loss, the major medical or disability, so on and so forth. So 5, 10, 10, that leaves the 25% to plan for your mid to long term. So basically in our life cycle, there are 4 stages of a big ticket item. There's a wedding plan, honeymoon. Stage 2 will be the your love nest, your house renovation. Stage 3 will be children education. And last stage, in fact, should be concurrently your retirement planning. That will be 25% mid to long term. That leaves us the remainder 50% for our standard living. So I'm saying that if you earn 3,000 a month, your standard living should be 1,500. But most people can't do that. Most people earn 3,000, spend 90% or even 100% of money. But it's good to know, it's good to have, it's good to practice. If I were to advise, break into these 5 compartments.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I really like that. Okay. And when planning ahead, what are some financial pitfalls to avoid?
There's so many pitfalls that a lot of people fall, including myself. First of all, spend more than you earn. So how do people spend more than we earn? borrowed money, on credits. So never spend more than you earn. That's why I
Okay.
came up with the 5 compartments, right? In fact, in what the financial ratio is debt servicing ratio, which is 35%. So the most debt or the healthy level of debt is 35% of your earning. So if you earn 10,000 a month, the most debt you can incur is 3,500 loan. That includes your renovation loan, car loan, housing loan, so on and so forth.
Okay.
Keep it to that level, healthy level. Yeah.
Okay. Don't cross it.
Yeah, don't cross
Go
the 35%. If you cross it, that means you're at the danger zone or unhealthy zone.
I think we've pretty much covered everything. Any final words of advice, Tiong Eng?
I told my students, my interns, try to work towards financial freedom. Believe in delayed gratification, because if you are easy on life now, life will be hard on you later.
Right.
If you're hard on life now, life will be easy on you later. You choose either one. Yes.
Thanks, Tiong Eng.
Yeah,
We'll
thank
catch you
you.
again soon. Tiong Eng and I had a great discussion. We discussed some financial wisdom from his book, Your Wealth Manual. Stay tuned for our next episode, which will feature more insights and analysis. I'm Rashan Gidwani, and you've been watching Teatime Tuesday. Please like and subscribe for more. See you again.